So in this video I'm going to be solving algebraic equations, but this is really a revision. You've seen all of this before, so you just need a little bit of a reminder, and we're going to do this and then we're going to move on to some more difficult stuff. So algebraic, that's like with an x or a y or some unknown a, b, c, d, solving equations. So let's just jump straight into some examples so you can get a feel for it. First example, 7x minus 4 equals 17. This you've seen before. It's called a two-step equation. Two steps. Now, our goal here is to isolate x. Isolate means get x by itself on one side or the other. What's stopping us from having x isolated? Negative 4 is on this side with x, and 7 is on this side with x. Now, you would have learnt before BOMDAS, or BIDMAS, or BIMDAS, whatever. That's the order of operations. Now, when you're doing these kinds of equations, you're doing the opposite of that. You're doing SAD mob. So, when we look at these, we need to get rid of the negative 4, the minus 4, the subtract 4, and we need to get rid of the multiply by 7 as well. So if I'm looking at this, I've got a subtraction in this equation, and I've got a multiply in this equation. I need to get rid of the subtraction first. That's the first one according to SAD mob. So, do the same thing on both sides. Minus 4 plus 4, 17 plus 4. So, I'm adding 4 to this side to get rid of the negative 4. I'm adding 4 to this side. So that's going to be 7x, 21. Now, I've got 7x equals 21. Now that I've done the subtraction part, I can do the multiply part. And to get rid of multiply by 7, divide by 7. 7 divided by 7, 21 divided by 7, 3. So, answer, x equals 3. You might have seen the working done slightly differently to that, but the basic idea is the same. Get rid of the subtraction or multiplication, get rid of the subtraction first, then get rid of the multiplication second. Let's look at a second example, more complicated. 3x minus 2 over 4 plus 5 equals 1. Now, the rules are still pretty much the same here. We're using SAD mob. Now we've got a we want to get free x. We want to get rid of x. We want to isolate x. Get it by itself. So 3x minus 2 over 4 plus 5. Now if we go through our thing, there's a plus 5. That's an addition. There's a divide by 4. That's a division. There's a minus 2, and there's a times 3. Now, because all of that is divided by 4, we can't do anything with the minus 2 or the multiplied by 3 until we get rid of this divide by 4. But we can't get rid of the divide by 4 until we get rid of the add 5. Because SAD mob, A comes before D. So this is going to be 3x minus 2 over 4 plus 5 minus 5, 1 minus 5. So that gets rid of our plus 5. So we end up with 3x minus 2 over 4. 1 minus 5 is minus 4. Now we can get rid of the divide by 4 by multiplying both sides by 4. Times 4 equals negative 4 times 4. So that's 3x minus 2 equals negative 16. And now I can reassess this. You see that's just a two-step equation now. 3x minus 2, I'm going to speed this up a bit by saying minus 2 plus 2, that's going to cancel out. Negative 16 plus 2, that's negative 14. And then divide by 3. And we can leave it at this, x equals negative 14 on 3. That's as far as we have to go there. We could type it into our calculator and get a decimal answer, but it's probably better leaving it as a fraction. One last example here. 2 bracket 4x on 5 minus 1 equals 6. Now again, we can go through all of this. Now we can see that there's a, let's do sad mob again. We can see that there's a 2 times everything in brackets, so that's a multiply, and then there's brackets. So we really shouldn't do anything with the brackets until we've gotten rid of this multiply by 2. So we can get rid of a multiplied by 2 by dividing by 2. So that's 2 bracket 4x on 5 minus 1 divided by 2 equals 6 on 2 on 5 minus 1. Now, this is looking a lot like sort of this. Now we have a subtract 1, we have a divide by 5, and we have a multiply by 4. So we have to get rid of this subtract 1, 4x on 5, 3 plus 1, negative 1 plus 1. 4x on 5 equals 4, multiplied by 5, 4x equals 20, and then x equals 20 divided by 4, x equals 5. Okay, there would have been a second way to do this question, just finishing off here. There would have been a second way to do this question. You could have expanded this using the distributive law. You would have ended up with, if I'd done that, 8x on 5 minus 2 equals 6. And then you could have proceeded from there. Doesn't matter which way you do it. It probably makes more sense to do it the way I've done it here, but you're going to get the same sort of answer there. So there is more than one way to attack some of these questions. Okay, that's a quick revision of solving algebraic equations.